If you're a fan of the show or just enjoy our content, please help support us by not only liking, subscribing, and sharing our show, but also by heading over to our Patreon at patreon.com/SmackRockPodcast and subscribing to one of the awesome tiers. We offer some cool rewards like first access to pre-recorded YouTube videos, the ability to be featured on our show with a video recorded question or unpopular wrestling opinion. Outside of that, a little bit of merch like our sticker pack with more to come, just like this Smack Rock Podcast t-shirt that you can get if you subscribe to our $25 tier. So please, once again, head over to our Patreon and help us out.
Hey, this is Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smack Raw Podcast.
Watch. Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Welcome everyone to the Payback Predictions episode, hosted by the Smack Rock Podcast. We are the Smack Rock Podcast crew, SES Vince and Kitty Bay. How's it going?
Bay.
How's it going, Kitty? How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm worn out from yesterday's podcast,
right?
But I'm good.
That's good to hear. So, we're here to record our payback predictions. Get going for the very excited last minute pay-per-view that was announced a week after SummerSlam. Jesus Christ! But
ridiculous.
However, though, they've done a great job, I feel like, giving us matches that matter and we care about, given the fact that we've just had a big time pay-per-view. I also have a theory here that they didn't want to do a WrestleMania, have a two-night SummerSlam show, which was originally rumored, and they want to do like shorter shows. So they figured, let's just do another pay-per-view and we'll do something over there instead. So like, what do you think of that theory?
I mean, I guess that would make sense because the two-night WrestleMania did really well.
Mm-hmm.
And with SummerSlam being their second biggest show, it would make sense if they tried to do 2 nights.
Right.
But I guess that makes sense because it's a relatively short card.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is like kind of needed storyline wise. So I'm about it.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get into the predictions, I'd like to just go ahead and remind you guys to head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SmackRockPodcast, and wherever you consume all your audio podcasts, you can find it using our link tree. You can go ahead and find all our audio podcasts there. We encourage you guys to like, comment, subscribe, download, follow, leave a review. Anything can go a long way to help support the show. Also, too, you can join our Patreon, and you can get this really rad Smack Rock Podcast t-shirt. You can go ahead and subscribe to our $25 tier, and you can get your choice of colored shirt and colored outline for the logo. So customization, and you also get get to plug your podcast or content creations on the show for a limited time. So take advantage while you can. But with that being said, Katie, let's get into the predictions. Let's get started with a match that recently got announced on this Friday. SmackDown, King Corbin taking on Matt Riddle. Do you have a favor here in this match? And if so, why?
So originally, we all were under the impression that this match was going to happen on SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
So my prediction is still the same from when I had it on the SummerSlam one.
Right.
I have Matt Riddle
because
I think they're trying to build him to be like one of the next, before AJ dropped the title, at least I was certain that Riddle was going to go work his way up to AJ for the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're probably still trying to build him up. So I'm gonna go Matt Riddle.
Okay, fair points. The only way I can see this match ending not favorably for Matt would be if it's DQ finish or someone comes in and attacks, kind of like Chad Gable. I'm not calling him the other name. I'm not calling a grown man that. He's Chad. Damn it. I think Chad could come into play here, maybe get a DQ finish, but that would still technically be a win for Riddle. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Riddle. He's either gonna beat Corbin clean, or he's gonna get attacked and win via disqualification. So we're both in agreement here, Katie. We're on the same page here. It's not surprising. This is our third show in a row this week, so we should be on the same wavelength now.
I hope so.
I'd hope so too, Kitty. Current United States champion Apollo Crews is defending his title against Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Business. I'm going to start us off here and say I think Bobby Lashley needs to get this title off of Apollo. Not because Apollo's not a good champion or because I don't want to see him as champion. It's just to solidify the Hurt Business. You can't have him consistently lose. Specifically, MVP continually lose to Apollo Crews. Bobby Lashley just being this dominant guy but not actually accomplishing anything since his alignment with MVP. Then you have Shelton Benjamin, who's out here having fatal four-way matches with Tozawa, Cedric, and R-Truth, which I love Shelton Benjamin, but I want him to be a little bit more serious. Basically, the same energy the Hurt Business brings into Raw Underground, bring it over to the main Raw program. Don't just keep that energy there. Don't use it kind of like how I use video games and just unleash all your aggression out on people. No, do not do that. Bring that to the main fucking ring, and especially on a pay-per-view. I think it's the right thing to do. Apollo can go ahead and have that uphill battle for that U.S. title, and you get a title on Bobby Lashley. And I was always against MVP being the United States champion in that group because you can't have Bobby Lashley not have the top title there or the highest title in that faction. So in my mind, it's like, if you're not going to put the WWE title on him by having him beat Drew McIntyre, the next best choice is the U.S. title. So that's what they have to do. Get the U.S. title on Bobby Lashley and maybe transition MVP into either just strictly managerial role or a tag team with Benjamin and have him go for the tag straps against Street Profits. So my pick here is Bobby Lashley.
Okay. I mean, you definitely bring up like a lot of good points about like Lashley kind of needs this to help solidify the Hurt Business. I have Apollo winning.
Okay.
Just because him winning would help basically like put an end to his rivalry with the Hurt Business. And because, I mean, the Hurt Business has been saying they want to take over Raw Underground. We got a glimpse of it this past week. But I think if Crews beats Lashley, they're like out of the title picture and they're going to focus more on that. Or Cedric is going to come out and do some shady shit, but still result in Apollo winning. So I'm not sure, but I still have Apollo keeping the title.
What if a Cedric comes out, try to screw over the Hurt Business, but ends up screwing over Apollo, and then now you transition into that?
Damn it. Hate you, Vince.
I'm just saying. So we finally have a difference in opinion here. That's good. Next up, a rematch of this past Monday Night's Raw main event: Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. This match didn't get a conclusion. Retribution came in and attacked them. We covered, like, if you guys didn't see the recording, you should go ahead and check out our Raw recap. Katie did a fantastic job. I was just riding her coattails that night. But this match is going to get round 2, second chance to go ahead and like deliver on a full type match. And I don't know if you saw on the SmackDown commercial, but they advertised Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins to like blow off this feud, I guess, in the singles match on Raw the following Monday. Yeah. So that leaves me to believe that because Seth Rollins picked up the win against Dominic, I feel like the father-son duo of Dominic and Rey will pick up the win here. And obviously, like, I love Buddy Murphy, but he's basically the fucking I'm forgetting the dude's name from Bullet Club. Always takes the pin. I'm drawing a blank. Chase Owens. He's the Chase
Owens, yeah.
He's the Chase Owens of this faction, even though there's 2 of them. So he's just here to take the pin. He's here to play the Chase Owens role and just go ahead and get pinned here. So that's my prediction. I'm going to go ahead and say that we get a happy ending here. And on Raw, that's a different story. We can go ahead and have Seth Rollins pick up the win right back, or have Rey finally put Seth in his rearview mirror and move on with his life. But I think Team Mysterio wins.
I agree. I also have Team Mysterio winning, just because we didn't get to see a clear-cut finish on Raw. This would basically give Dominic and Rey like their comeuppance on Rollins and Murphy, especially after SummerSlam, because that was just brutal to watch, especially for Rey being handcuffed. Can't save his kid.
Yeah.
I think we get a happy ending. So we have Rey and Dominic winning. And I'm just gonna say this: fuck Kyle because he's so certain Dominic is gonna turn on his father for fucking the greater good.
You know what it is? You know what? I don't know.
Hater.
He's a hater. He hates happy endings.
Apparently.
He hates happiness. That's what Kyle hates. That's why he always that's why he created UWO, so he can see people bicker and put other people down, because that's how he gets his kicks and jollies off. So
yeah.
Let's move on to the women's tag team title match between the Golden Role Models Sasha Banks and Bayley, taking on the randomly put together team of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I'm gonna go start with you, Katie. Who do you got here and why?
So again, this is something we kind of talked about on Monday. I have Shayna and Nia Jax winning just because, especially after, like, I caught most of SmackDown, but I mainly caught Sasha and Bayley kind of trading blow for blow.
Yeah.
Mainly Bayley laying into Sasha's ass, which I think is funny. So I have them winning. I have Shayna and Nia winning just because the cracks are already being shown between Sasha and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Something's gonna happen Sunday, which I can't believe it's already in like 2 days. And Shayna and I are gonna win and basically just be like transitional champions.
Yeah, I do feel like the long game should be get those tag straps on the newly formed Riot Squad 2.0. I'm just going to call them Riot Squad 2.0 because it sounds like they're like bigger, badder, and better improved and shit, you know? Mm-hmm. Kind of like when you get like an upgrade on like your laptop or something, you get like the latest update. That's what Riot Squad are right now. It's the latest update of Riot Squad. So, you know what? I can't go against my girl Sasha. I rooted against her at SummerSlam just because I kind of felt like she wasn't gonna win, and sure enough, she lost. So maybe if I put that positive energy out there that she's gonna win, you know what? I'll even create a scenario for you, Katie. I'm gonna say that Sasha's gonna go ahead and let Bayley do the heavy lifting, get her ass whooped throughout the entire match, come in last minute, save the match, and claim that she saved that tag match and saved the tag team titles for both of them and did it on her own, basically. Kind of like have something to throw in Bayley's face. And maybe she just shows up with both tag titles next time we see them together. And then Bayley's like, dude, that's my title. I was like, no, I won the match all by myself. No, maybe. We'll see.
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't put anything against the Golden Role Models just because when you think they won't do something, they'll do something. They'll do it anyways. Or a lot of people didn't feel like Sasha was going to get the title, or they didn't think they were going to get the tag straps, and they do. So right now they can't miss. Right now, Golden Role Models, they can't miss. I feel like they're hitting everything out of the park. They're like the best thing going for SmackDown. They're the main reason I watch SmackDown, other than a certain someone that recently returned, but we'll get to him when we get to his match. Next up, second to last match, I believe, on the card. We're breezing right through this, which is I love. The newly debuted Keith Lee, the Limitless One himself, takes on the Viper Randy Orton, and again another rematch of sorts from what happened on Raw. And I'm noticing the trend here. At least what Raw did, they set up some matches to tease for the Payback pay-per-view, so you got a little bit of the Team Mysterio versus Rollins and Murphy, but you also got a little taste of Keith Lee and Randy Orton throughout the entire night. And now you're excited for this match. Now you want to see it because both of them ended in DQ. I'm not a fan of the fact that they ended in DQ, but they ended nonetheless. I'm excited for this match. I'm gonna go ahead and say Keith Lee. He got to get this win. Maybe Drew McIntyre comes out because, I mean, that's the only way. It won't be the cleanest of wins, but he might come out, distract Randy Orton, and allowing Keith Lee to pick up the win. Also, too, shout out to Keith Lee for being the consummate professional, tweeting everybody on Twitter saying, calm down, I will handle the gear situation, I will handle the music situation. And I heard rumblings that he's actually going to have a new theme song on Sunday. So, new theme song, new Keith, clean victory. So, I got Keith Lee.
See, when I did the SummerSlam predictions, I was like, Dominic has to win. It's his like first match, all this, and he lost. And I was like, right. Well, fuck. Okay. So
look, listen, Katie, just because you have this, I'll tell you this right now. Just because you have an off game, you can't change up your strategy. You can't change up your formula, because if you do, you get into your own head, you start changing things up, and you never keep the routine. Like, as a basketball fan, I will tell you, shooters gotta shoot. You will have nights where you just won't hit anything, but there'll be nights where you'll just be lights out. So that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. All right.
Go with your heart, Katie. Go with your heart.
Yeah. Fuck it. My gut and my heart says Keith Lee.
Fuck yeah.
He fucking deserves. He needs the win. He needs it.
Yeah.
You can't call him up, have him feuding with one of their top guys on Raw
of like the last 20 years. If you think about it, yeah.
And have him lose his first full match. Hopefully it doesn't end in a DQ of some sorts, but his like first full match.
Right.
So it's got to be Keith Lee.
For
and
sure.
if it's not, then fuck WWE.
Right. So look, just before we move on to the main event, the final match on the card, I will address the Dominic comparison. So look, listen to this. Seth Rollins, former Universal Champion, former WWE Champion. He's a former Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion, US Champion. He's held just about every single title you can hold in WWE, including the NXT title. People forget about that. He's a former Money in the Bank. He beat Brock Lesnar. He's beaten even the likes of his own Shield mates in Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. He's been John Cena. He's beaten big names. He's a big fucking deal. I like Dominic, and yes, it was his debut match, but put it into context. The kid's never, like, within kayfabe, the kid's never had a match.
Yeah.
He put on a good fight. This is basically Rocky. Like, Dominic had the Rocky debut. He put up a good fight, but didn't get the win. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the difference. Keith Lee is a hell of a man. He pushed around Brock Lesnar. He had Brock Lesnar just, whoa, big boy. Who is this motherfucker? Then you had his interaction with Roman. Everyone says a bunch of good things about him. He's a former NXT champion. He's the only champion in NXT history to be dual champion with the North American and NXT title. I think that's where the difference lies. And in his match with Randy Orton, Randy's like, whoa, hold up, timeout. I was not anticipating this. He's coming at me like a Mack truck, and I was not anticipating. I was not expecting this. I think that's the difference. And also, too, I believe my theory that Drew has to show up at the pay-per-view and cost Randy this match so the feud continues.
I mean, especially because he punted him 3 fucking times.
Exactly. You kind of have to at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
For some reason, my mind was just like, Randy's a little snake. He'll win somehow. But no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Keith Lee's gonna win.
Okay, perfect. So we move on to the main events. We have a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. No holds barred, my ad, which I think is kind of counterproductive, or what's the word I'm looking for? Redundant? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Redundant, yeah.
Yeah, because triple threat matches are no DQ by nature.
Yeah.
No holds barred is just trying to add a little like paprika to the fucking dish or something. I don't know. I don't know how spices work.
Spice.
I don't know how cooking works, Katie. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't know how to cook. I don't know what you do in the kitchen.
I don't fucking know either.
But the current champion, The Fiend Bray Wyatt's taking on Braun Strowman, the former champion, and Roman Reigns. And the Wikipedia says with Paul Heyman, because I think we were having our doubts whether he's heel or not, but he came back, and on SmackDown he revealed that he's a Paul Heyman guy. What in the living fuck is going on? Like, this is one of the best things that's happened in 2020, and 2020 has not had good things to go for this year, especially in the wrestling world. Katie, is there any way Roman doesn't walk away with the title here?
After tonight, him being aligned with Paul Heyman, there is no chance in hell Roman is not walking out without the title. Like, he has to win. There's been so much hype brought up about his return. Like, they were even advertising that shit on Raw. He's literally a SmackDown guy, and they were twice during the show. They're just like, hey, breaking news, Roman's back. But we all knew.
16-hour breaking news. 16-hour later.
Fucking ridiculous. But Roman's gonna win. But I don't think The Fiend is gonna eat the pin. I think it's gonna be Strowman.
Yeah, it has to be Strowman. I feel like that's the only. So I guess my question here is, like, why have the Fiend Braun match for the title, have Fiend win the title, and then set up this triple threat match like a week later?
I don't know. See, I wish I could just go inside the mind of creative for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, having Roman return when he did,
yeah,
beautiful. But you should have just kept the title on Strowman at that point for Roman to come in, and then we get, like, this type of match without the Fiend losing the title, like, a week later.
So my theory here is that the only way that Roman doesn't walk away with the title is if Braun Strowman somehow eliminates him from the equation, or the Fiend eliminates him from the equation by putting him through, like, the Thunderdome, or putting him through somewhere, and then Braun takes the pin from the Fiend. My whole theory is Braun Strowman takes out Roman, right? Like, Roman has this match. He's about to win. He has the Fiend right where he wants him. Braun Strowman comes in and cock blocks Roman, takes him out of the equation, knocks him out long enough for Braun to get back into the ring, eat a mandible claw or Sister Abigail, and then he loses to the Fiend. The Fiend transitions to something else. Now you have Braun versus Roman. Both of these guys have a little bit more of an edge to them. You have that feud going with each other a little bit longer. You let the Fiend have a little bit more of a long reign, and then you go ahead and circle back to Fiend versus Roman singles match at Royal Rumble or something.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, you're really good at this.
Look, I just like to look at alternate solutions here, because there's no clean cut way. Because usually the way it works with WWE, it's the coolest, most exciting way you can go about it. They go the opposite direction to pick the most boring route. So I guess the most logical sense here would be Roman just to pick up the win against Braun Strowman, and then Fiend's like, well, I didn't care about the title anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and, like, manipulate someone else and turn them into a different, like, version of themselves. Or
I mean, I was gonna say, it also begs the question: will Alexa Bliss get involved in some way, shape, or form?
fair point, because we thought she was going to get involved on at SummerSlam on Sunday. She was nowhere to be found.
Not there.
She was actually at home watching the show, if I'm not mistaken. Oh,
Yeah.
Also too, they could go ahead and put the title on Roman, because with the draft supposedly looming and coming up, maybe the Fiend's going to transition over to Raw.
Oh, maybe.
And then now you have Drew versus Fiend at SummerSlam. Or, I mean, Survivor Series. So there are options here.
Is
There are
Survivor Series their next pay-per-view?
The next pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell, which unfortunately does not have good memories when it pertains to the Fiend, unfortunately. So I don't know where they go with it. So there's a lot of options, but I'm going to go with the safe bet here and say Roman Reigns. We're in agreement here. We're just going to play it safe. Last time I didn't play it safe with predictions, I ended up like losing my bet. Now I have to get a Cody Rhodes neck tattoo. By the way, stay tuned for that. Check out our Super Tuesday NXT recap show. If I get the tattoos by then, I will be getting the tattoo placed before or after the pay-per-view. So before or after the recap. So if not, then it's going to have to wait up, and I might do like an actual video recording and make it very dramatic. Very dramatic.
Please.
Like I don't know what the fuck it's called, but the soundbite that's like dun 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 dun. It's just like a bunch of different shots. It's like this is the mail. Like pretend these are the stickers, and it'll be like dun 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 dun, and then it comes back to my face just like dun dun dun, dun. Like I'm like so done with it, everything, but it's like gets very dramatic.
Oh my god!
I got
please.
ideas, guys. I got ideas for the show, but. With that being said, I think that's the show. I think that's every match. If there's anything else that gets added last minute, well, too bad. You won't get to hear our reactions unless you follow us on Twitter at SESVince, and you can go ahead and follow Katie at Katie Wrasslin 13, and that's WRASSLIN 13. So go ahead and check her out. Great content there. And of course, check out our Payback recap show right immediately after Payback. So enjoy the pay-per-view this Sunday, guys. We will catch you guys next time for more Smack Raw content. There y'all.